This week at NASA. Veteran astronauts Chris Ferguson, Doug Hurley, Sandy Magnus, and Rex Walheim will make up the crew of STS-135. The mission will fly only if members of STS-134 aboard Space Shuttle Endeavour would need to be rescued. STS-134 is the last scheduled shuttle mission to the International Space Station since the loss of Columbia in 2003. NASA has had a crew ready to fly if a shuttle suffers irreparable damage in orbit. The STS-335 crew will not only train for rescue, but will also stand ready in case a new shuttle mission is added to the launch manifest. If that happens, STS-335 would be redesignated STS-135 and would be targeted to launch in June 2011 aboard Space Shuttle Atlantis. And now, centerpieces.
Preparations continue for the next space shuttle mission to the International Space Station, STS-133. Space Shuttle Discovery is now at Launch Pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, following its move or rollout from the Vehicle Assembly Building. STS-133 is the next to last scheduled shuttle mission and the final flight of Discovery before it's retired. The orbiter and its 6-member crew, commanded by Steve Lindsay, will carry to the station the Permanent Multi-Purpose Module, or PMM, packed with supplies and critical spare parts, as well as the first human-like robot in space, Robonaut 2. Discovery is targeted to launch on November 1st.
Looking from behind glass into a controlled atmosphere clean room at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, invited media satisfied their curiosity about Curiosity, the next Mars rover. Along with other elements of the Mars Science Laboratory spacecraft, Curiosity has been undergoing tests inside JPL's spacecraft assembly facility, driving short distances and moving its robotic arm.
Now, just about everything you see on the mobility system looks black, but that doesn't mean it's all the same material. The tubes, the suspension arms coming down to the wheels, those are all titanium. The tires themselves, those are aluminum. The shell on those tires is actually a piece of machined aluminum that's about 30 thousandths of an inch thick. That's about the thickness of 7 pieces of paper. And when they're that thin, it makes them actually soft. And so they behave in much the way that a rubber tire would behave. This test was sort of an obstacle course for the rover, because we have to drive over obstacles at certain heights. Those correspond to rocks at certain heights that we expect to see on the surface of Mars. And so those ramps were mimicking those rocks to make sure that we can actually drive over them and get to the science.
MSL and its rover are scheduled to launch to Mars in late 2011. Ames and Marshall were among the NASA centers hosting a celebration of International Observe the Moon Night. Center guests viewed the moon and other celestial objects through large telescopes, guided by local astronomical groups, and visitors enjoyed several hands-on games and activities, including an inflatable planetarium to learn more about the stars, moon, and planets. NASA scientists also talked about the presence of water on the moon and upcoming missions to our nearest neighbor in space. International Observe the Moon Night was celebrated in more than 30 countries worldwide. And that's this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, log on to www.nasa.gov.